Big Apple, 3 a.m.
Samurai Shodown is a 2D fighting game developed and published by SNK. It released on June 25th, 2019 for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The game takes place in 1787, during the 7th year of the Tenmei era in Japan. The newly appointed council to the shogun, Matsudaira Sadanobu, was chosen to usher in a new age of reform with the Kansei era, as the country has fallen on hard times due to fire and famine that have plagued Japan. If that wasn't bad enough, there is an evil spirit that looms over the country and threatens to destroy it. The sense of dread and urgency has driven warriors from all across the world to Japan to investigate and exterminate the evil forces. For most competitive fighting games, save for the Mortal Kombat and Injustice series, the story feels like an afterthought while the gameplay is where it shines. That couldn't be more true for Samurai Shodown. The combat is deliberate and methodical. Charging in with reckless abandon can cost you the round in the blink of an eye, due to the devastating attacks that each of the characters possess. For the most part, Samurai Shodown keeps combos to a minimum, leaving the bulk of the damage to be done with singular strikes like the Heavy Slash. Slow but deadly, this one-button attack perfectly represents what this game is all about: high risk, high reward. You wouldn't want to throw out your Heavy Slash all willy-nilly, as a whiff or a blocked Heavy Slash can easily cost you the round. If that wasn't bad enough, being too predictable can lead to losing your blade with a perfectly timed counter, and if you thought Samurai Shodown was unforgiving, it's doubly so after losing your blade. As deadly as your strikes are, your attacks are amplified with a full rage meter. You fill the rage meter naturally as you take damage, and once you're in a max rage state, your attack power and special moves are greatly increased for a short period of time. You can also completely give up your rage meter to enter a rage explosion state, where you gain the benefits of a max rage without needing to fill the gauge, although it does away with your rage meter for the remainder of the match. As easy as it is to deplete your enemy's health bar, you also have 3 super attacks at your disposal that can do away with your opponent in a glorious fashion. There's the weapon flipping technique, which you can only do in a max rage or rage explosion state, which inflicts massive damage all the while disarming your enemy, leaving them at a huge disadvantage. The lightning blade technique, that can only be used once per match while in a rage explosion state, has your character run across and slice your opponent dramatically as the background turns blood red. The super special move, which also can be only done once per match, sees each character perform a flashy and devastating hyper combo that can easily take 60 to 70% of your health. Now that's a lot of damage. Samurai Shodown has the usual modes you'll see in a modern fighting game: online mode with lobbies, offline versus mode, survival mode, and tutorials. What stands out from the pack is the ability to fight ghosts of online opponents or even yourself for training purposes. Being able to fight higher ranked opponents is an innovative way to help players improve their skill and adapt to characters that are a bad matchup. This is great, in theory. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out how developers hoped it would. Ghosts copy the type of attacks and movement used by the player and regurgitates it without any spatial or situational awareness. Seeing a black belt level ghost whiff attacks from across the screen or constantly jump around is a complete letdown. Samurai Shodown's visuals are sublime and beautifully capture the setting of the game. Each character's attire is vibrant and colorful, and the stages make excellent backdrops for battle. Each attack has a certain weight and feel as they land, and are animated extremely well, especially heavy slashes, as those have a paintbrush effect to them. The special effects of special moves are quite lively, and stand out from one another, with each character having their own stylish and original attack pattern different from everyone else. As each character wields a blade or weapon, it's no surprise that this game can get bloody. The stronger the attack, the more blood will be gushing out of your foe, enough to spill on your own character. Seeing Kurama's white hair with blood splatter all over after a tough battle is a nice touch that adds to the sense of realism. The voice acting is really well done, albeit it's only in Japanese. There is only one recorded audio track for each character, unlike the multiple languages you may see in other fighting games such as Street Fighter. Everything down to the announcer in battle is in Japanese with English text. I do like how SNK went all in with the Japanese voices, as it adds more to the feeling of the game, although some players may be disappointed that there isn't an option to change to their native tongue. Samurai Shodown is an anomaly in today's fighting game landscape. It's brutal, unforgiving, and unapologetic. It doesn't hold your hand by simplifying the gameplay or with easy to abuse comeback mechanics. Every attack, every jump in, hell, even every counter must be carefully thought out and calculated, as one move can be the difference between triumph or crushing defeat. With its beautiful presentation, outstanding and intense combat, and rock-solid netcode for online play, this Samurai Shodown reboot makes for a brilliant return to the series. Although the meticulous and demanding gameplay may be a little daunting to less experienced players in the genre, Samurai Shodown is an excellent callback to the fighting games of the early 90s, and one that should be in every fighting game fan's collection. I give Samurai Shodown a B. From all of us here at Rotten Apple Gaming, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you saw. Subscribe and click on the notification bell to stay updated on our following videos.